The speaker tonight is an expert hacker, penetration tester, cybersecurity expert, and whatnot entrepreneur as well. Sir is an alumni of SBU. After his graduation, Sir founded a company called Shadow Security, which is a cyber and infosec company with, with the main motto to get the people to hands-off practical. They also provide security for IT companies and give awareness for the employees. They also do both types of testings, like the penetration testings, with team penetration testing and red team penetration testing as well. They also conduct workshops and seminars on cybersecurity to our people, and also conduct conferences to the police academy to let them aware of these things. I wish many more yet to come, sir. And I will conclude this by handing over the mic to Mr. Surya. Sir, please take on the mic.
Hello all. Yeah, I'm Jay Suryapal. Welcome you all to the Bugspot, a boot camp on cyber security. So, guys, how many of you know what is cyber security? Actually, before we deep dive into the topic, hello Aishwarya. So, I need to know actually how many of you are noob or intermediate or experts in the cyber security. Let me know in the chat box. Yeah, okay. So don't worry, there will be, I'm going to take you from the scratch to the, advanced level. So need not to worry entirely. I'm going to teach you everything in this 3 days. So fine, let me share my screen. Okay, fine. So yeah, coming to our, entire, the syllabus, what we are going to discuss, what we are going to do, and yeah, what not actually entire I'm going to take you from the scratch to the advanced level. And this is such a event that you are not going to be an expert within these 3 days, but I can promise you that you all are going to think like an hacker after this event. Fine. So in the day one, we are going to discuss introduction intro to cybersecurity, types of phishing attacks and types of malware attacks, how to install hacking operating system. And this part will be the most interesting part, and you need to concentrate on it. And then basic phishing attack and also trojan attack, live practical I'm going to show you. Yeah, day one means today. So day two, as guys, you haven't seen actually the entire syllabus. This is the reason I'm going with the syllabus first of all. And introduction to the penetration testing, dns hacking in local network. Yeah, if you don't know the terms which I mentioned in the curriculum, need not to worry. Okay, when we are going to discuss the entire topic, at the time I will explain you the entire scenario. Actually, what does it mean? And mobile hacking using one of the famous framework, then app poisoning and spoofing, how to steal username and password, everything. So sql injection on real website. So we are going to find an sql injection and we are going to dump all the database on a real life website. Okay, so introduction to the system hacking and hacking linux machine lively. So I'm going to show you how to hack a linux machine in live. Actually, for example, if we take a scenario in the home, there are two computers. Actually, one is the linux machine and one is the windows machine. So how to hack from windows machine to linux machine, and how to hack from linux machine to windows machine. This is what the entire scenario, what the actually network penetration testing means. So I'm going to show you and I'm going to teach you how to hack linux machine live, and not windows actually, because to build a windows environment, and it will uh, it will be some clumsy. Yeah, we are not going to cover the within these 3 days. So we have covered how to hack linux machine. Okay, so wi-fi hacking using different tools, and I'm going to show you, yeah, how to hack wi-fi and hotspot also. And Wireshark packet capturing. If you don't know Wireshark, don't worry. And the entire scenario, just go with the terms which I mentioned in the syllabus. Introduction to the TryHackMe CTF platform, and what to learn there. Okay, So fine, at last this boot camp curriculum as designed by Shadow Securities, and let me deep dive into the PPT. Okay, I'm going to start. Yeah, Shasvi, identifying cyber threats. I think there is a mistake and I registered for another event. Okay, Manas Yadav, don't worry. This is also a event that which you are going to learn about cyber security. This is not such a small event as you think. Okay, so after this event, you are going to change your mind. Fine. So coming to the point of PPT, first of all, you got all about my introduction, but let me say you that I'm a certified ethical hacker and also I'm a penetration tester, and I'm the founder of Shadow Security Solutions. Okay, so coming to the boot camp and coming to the point, actually, what we are going to discuss. Intro to cybersecurity. What is social engineering attack? Types of phishing attacks, and what is malware and types of malwares? How to install the hacking operating system? Demonstration of phishing attack and Trojan attack. This is what the topics we are going to discuss in this entire session. So coming to the point, first thing, what is cybersecurity? Is there anyone which you as if you know about cybersecurity, you can speak. Come on, and you can speak because my platform will be user friendly. Need not to worry. Don't be hesitate if you are wrong. Okay, there is nothing to be hesitate. It's all fine. So what is cybersecurity? If anyone knows, you can also mention in the chat box. Okay, fine. So I will continue with the the term cybersecurity. Cybersecurity means, as we all know, the day is the world is developing day by day and the technology is also developing. So the as the technology is developing, there is a merits and also demerits. For suppose, if Android 10 has been released into the market, yeah, and Android 11 is also released into the market. So some of the guys who are they are very well satisfied with the Android 10, or they are very well satisfied with the Android 11. And but some of the guys who are security researchers, or who are like bad hackers, bad guys, they are going to find out some of the vulnerabilities in this modern technology which was developed to Android 10 to Android 11, Android 9 to Android 10. So this is fine. They are going to find such type of vulnerabilities there. So after finding the vulnerabilities, some of the good guys are going to report to the vendor, but some of there are not. They are going to use the weakness of that vulnerable weakness of the technology, and they are going to blame some people. So which is ultimately black hacking. So yeah, here the two scenarios are there. As a technology is developed, there is a boon and also a merit and demerit. So this is what the entire cyber security means, which we are going to protect them. Before the hacker find the vulnerability, the security researcher is going to find and he is going to patch the vulnerability, so everything is going to be fine. This is what the term cyber security. So as you can take consideration into into our consideration, like laptop, mobile phone and smartwatch, everything whatnot. So there is a merit and also a demerit. So the guy who is reporting and the guy who is supporting the security purpose upon the overall the network, or overall the internet, who is supporting the security, so they all come under the cyber security, which they are not which they are not supposing to patch the security, which they are not they are using the weakness or they are using the vulnerability. They all comes under the black hat. They are not securing actually, they are using the weakness. This is what the cyber security, an IoT device, securing an IoT device, or or the setting some security policies over upon the internet. So this is what called the cyber security means. And types of hackers in the cyber world. So there are much more types of hackers are there. If we speak roughly, there are script kiddies, suicidal hackers, or there are hacktivist hackers, but they are only the terms. In the cyber world, the hackers are divided into three types itself. The first thing is white hat, and the second is black hat, and third is gray hat. So if we talk about white hat hacking, and so the person who is supporting, the person who is trying to secure the world, he is comes under the white hat hacking. The guy who is supporting the security, he is comes under the white hat hacking. And the guy who is using such vulnerabilities or using such weaknesses and doing scams, or doing spam or doing blackmail to the normal users, they all are come under the black hat hacking. So what is gray hat hacking? Gray hat hacking is a mix of white hat and also black hat. Grey hat will act like a white attacker in front of authorities, and when the authorities are not there, they are going to be the black hat. Actually, they are going to sell your confidential data on the internet. They are going to they are going to act like white hat and also black hat. This is what the types of hackers. White hat means the completely legal, black hat means completely illegal, gray hat means ambiguous. He is going to be the white hat in some circumstances, and he is going to be the black hat in sometimes. Okay, so this is what the types of hackers in cyber world. So coming to the point, before we dive in into this boot camp topic, before we dive in into this entire era, we will discuss about some of the cyber security terminologies. Okay, so what is antivirus? Actually, we all know the virus. As in the malware section, we are going to discuss actually what is virus. But before that, if we know what is antivirus, so we can able to understand the virus. What does it mean actually? So what is antivirus? Antivirus means which if which if a device is affected by a virus, or virus is such a thing which it always try to uh, destroy the things. Like as we are facing a pandemic time right now, we are affecting and we are suffering from a virus called corona. So this is what the virus means. It is going to be destroy everything. So antivirus means which it will protect from virus. So as I think some of the computers, if they are if they are suffering from the virus, and if they are suffering from any malware, so when they ask to any the technology related guys, the techniques are going to say that install the antivirus, so the all problem is going to be solved. But actually here the scenario is by installing antivirus after after you have been infected by the virus, then when you are going to install your antivirus, the problem is not going to solve here, because you need to aware, you need to install antivirus before your device is get impacted by the virus. This is what the antivirus means. After infecting by the virus, that it does not going to be show result while if you are going to install antivirus also. You need to install antivirus before your device is getting impacted by the virus. This is what the antivirus means. And what is anti-spyware? And we are going to discuss about spyware and also in the malware, and what is anti-spyware actually. So what is anti-spyware means? Spyware is such a software, or such a program. If we will take an example that A is spying on B. This means that B doesn't know that B is does not having any a single percent idea that A is observing the B. This is what called the A is spying on B. So in the coming to the technology topic, in coming to the cyber era, there is a software called spyware. So spyware is such a software that it is going to observe all the movements of the victim when it get installed in the mobile devices. So anti-spyware means it which it is going to protect you from the spyware. So anti-spyware is also same as if we as we have seen in the virus, that anti-spyware is also want to be installed before your device get impacted by the spyware. Okay. So what is firewall? Firewall is such a thing that which is going to protect you. For suppose, if we take an example, the Lovely Professional University. When if we want to get into the university, as there will be a bar gates. So if we want to bypass, if we want to pass through that bar gates, and we need to place our ID card upon the scanner. So this is what one of the security feature there the Lovely Professional University is using actually. So here coming to the cyber era, what is firewall? Firewall means, as you can able to see, this is the one of the network, and this is one of the network. Okay, so this is wide area network and this is local area network. For suppose for your comfortable, this is the Google server and this is your office server. LAN network is going to be your office server and WAN is going to be your Google server, assume. So when you are sending to the Google to to get a login request into the Gmail, so this firewall which was used by the Google, is this firewall is going to see this de-encapsulate it. It is going to see the entire IP packet, whether what type of request is sending by the local area network or by the specific user, what type of request is going to be used. If firewall if the Google doesn't use this firewall, so if the user is requesting to bypass the authentication, then the server, the DNS is going to transfer the request to the Google itself. The Google is going to accept. Due to this firewall, as this firewall is designed or implemented by some of the signatures that don't accept this type of scripts, don't accept this type of scripts, only accept the login acceptancy, only accept whether they want to visit or not. So they are going to write some of the signatures in this firewall and they are going to implement between outside or also internal of their Google servers. So when a user is requesting to the Google server, he is going to get that entire, the firewall is going to filter all the packet and it is going to forward, whether it will decide that the packet is legitimate or not. If the packet is not legitimate, the packet is going to destroy itself. The firewall is not going to accept the packet to send to the data servers of Google. So this is what the firewall. And what is update actually? As I told, we have been the evolution is continuing from Android 9 to Android 10, Android 10 to Android 11, right? So why? Because the Android 9, as we got Android 10 update, because the Android 9 is having a vulnerability or having a weak point, as so they are updating from Android version 9 to Android 10. As for suppose, if you take an example that when you are going as you are going to attend a party. So at the same at the same date on the next month, and you need to attend another party, but the same members which was attended in the first party is going to be attend all of them to the second party. So whether you have been dressed up to the first party and you are not going to dress the same same style to the second party, actually you are going to update, right? Because the part has been used, actually already the dress has been used and you are going to be updating a rough scenario. This is an example that. So coming to the technology part, if a version is getting update, means the old version is having a vulnerability or a loophole. That is the reason that they are going to update their version. Fine. So what is vulnerability means? As I told that vulnerability means it is a loophole or weakness of a particular application. For suppose if Woodland is a website, that Woodland is getting is suffering from the SQL injection. So this is one of the vulnerability that we can all dump from the Woodland database, all the credentials of that Woodland clients. So this is a vulnerability that they need to patch it. So to patch it, they need to update the security. This is what the this is all they are interlinked. This is what the vulnerability means actually. What is authentication? As authentication means, as I told, to get into the university, you are going to place the ID card. This is what the authentication. Understand? So to get into the university, you are going to place your ID card and you are getting authenticated with the university data servers. So you are getting in. This is what the authentication. And coming to the point of authorization, authorization and authentication and authorization are two different categories. Because as you are also entering into the university and the lecturers also entering into the university, but you are sitting on the classrooms, lecture sitting on the staff room. This decides whether the authorization status, as you are not going to sit on the staff room and the staff is not going to sit on the classrooms for regular, right? So this is what authorization, a particular person what to do when he get authenticated. what the what the privileges were permitted for a particular specific person to do an activity. This is what the authorization. And what is physical security? So as in Lovely Professional University, if we take an example, we can able to see the bar gates, right? So the bar gate and barriers which CC camera and also the watchmen and security, they all are called the physical security. This is what a basic terms. And what is cryptography in cyber? Guys, do you know what is cryptography in cyber? Actually, any of you, what is cryptography? No idea. Encoding and decoding. Yeah, Manas Yadav, you are changing your mindset, right? Fine, very good. And the cryptography means encoding and decoding. So, when coming to the point of this cryptography, if you take an example that I will explain you in a scenario that when you write A and A plus 5, then it is going to encode A to the 5 times. So when A is communicating with B. Actually, there is a person A and person B, and the person A is communicating with person B. So when the person A and person B is aware about the cryptography, so person A is going to send that A plus 5 equal to A B C D E, and A will be replaced by E. You know that every digit, every alphabet is going to replaced by a key, and they both knows that they are using key 5. There will be a specific key and they are using a key as a 5. And when the B receives the message or the data packet, then he is going to decrypt from E minus 5, then he is going to get A. This is what the secret in cryptography, that the entire encryption and decryption is going to be processed. So this is a basic introduction to the cryptography. So what is salami attack? Any one of you aware about this salami attack? Let me know. This is one of the famous attack actually. No one? Okay, no. Guys, participate. If you participate, then the session will be very fine. No idea. Fine. So yeah, you are not having any idea about the salami attack. I will explain you that in a olden days, a bank is Tesco bank. The bank name is Tesco, and this bank is affected and suffering. Suffered by this salami attack. Actually, this salami attack means a attacker created an account in the bank at the same bank, and the bank contains the 25 million of users. So the bank contains the 25 million users, and the attacker is also registered a bank account, and he opened a bank account on the same bank which the 25 million users are registered. So 25 million users have been registered in a same bank, and the attacker is attacked the database servers, and he is not directly dumped the entire money to his bank account. He used a trick to dump all the money, but in a time of period actually. So a attacker created a bank account in the same bank, and every month ending, the month ending, for suppose if you take January, on the January 28th, or February 28th and March 28th, every month 28th, from all 25 million bank account users, from all them accounts, every single rupee is going to deduct. Sorry. So every single rupee is going to deduct there. So actually, according to that user, there is only he is deducting only the 1 rupee, and he were going to think that I think so this will be the service tax that the bank is going to charge me, and this is service tax, or GST. What they are going to think, just like they are charging only 1 rupee, and my account contains 25,000 rupees, and 1 rupee is not a big deal for me. But the 25 million users is going to deduct every single rupee from their 25 million accounts, and the 25 million rupees is going to add into a single account on the attacker's account every month. So every month he is going to get the 25 million rupees for free. Actually, he just hacked into the database server, and he used a trick, and he where wrote an algorithm on the system's database. Every month 1 rupee is going to detect and adding into the attacker's account. So this is what the salami attack means, you know. So coming to the point, main social engineering. Before we get get dive into the phishing, actually, so we will talk about social engineering attacks. So social engineering means it is wonderful thing, a wonderful it is a type of talent actually. If you ask me, it is a type of talent that no social engineering means convincing a people, or forcing a people in a legitimate manner. For suppose some of the people, as Manas Yadav is not not is not uh, okay with this boot camp. But for suppose if I am a Manas Yadav friend and I am going to force him, this is a cyber security boot camp and you are going to learn ethical hacking, that's this, and you are going to get entire knowledge, you are going to hack Facebook, Twitter, entire the world is going to be in your hands, and I'm going to force him. But actually, coming to the real scenario, the cybersecurity boot camp is not going to be that effective in that scenario. Actually, if you take in our scenario, it is going to be all set, and you are going to enjoy this session. You not to worry. But in the in that example scenario, I'm forcing Manas Yadav to register into this event, and Manas Yadav is believing me and he is going to register into this event, and I got the money, and he were he were blamed. Actually, he is not satisfied with this event. So what else? Actually, this is what the talent of convincing. Actually, this is called social engineering in this cyber era. So, for suppose if we take an example, and there is a exam on Monday. Actually, so there is an exam on Monday, and person A, person is both they are friends. Person A is very well talented and he is ready for the exam. Person B does not. Person B is dull like me and he is a backward student. He is a backbench student like me, and he don't like to study actually. So when a person A is ready for the exam, and when a person B is going to the person A, and he is he is convincing him, he is forcing him that on Monday there is no exam. Actually, on Monday the teacher is going to absent. The teacher is going for a vacation, and she told me there is no class on Monday, and we will go for a movie, or we will go for outing, and we will enjoy. Actually, please come with me. And I'm forcing person A. So here person A, person B, as I told, they are both are friends, and they are going to believe each and every, each of them, they are going to believe them. And by believing the person B, A is going to bunk the class. Actually, in the real scenario, the test held on the Monday, and person A, person B, they both are got 0 marks actually. So this is what the convincing, the person B is convinced the person A to bunk the class. So this is what the social engineering. So coming to the coming to our daily life, how you are going to face this social engineering, and on your daily life. So you are going to get SMS, you are going to get calls, you are going to get links. For suppose I will explain you that you are going to get an SMS that someone is trying to log in into our account, and we have detected from we are messaging from State Bank of India, and someone is trying to log in into your internet banking. We have detected it. For the security reasons, you need to reset your password, and by reset your password by clicking the below link immediately. So the person is going to be hesitate, and the person is going to be tense, and he is going to click on the link. Immediately he is going to try to change his password. And in the real time, if we change the password, and the attacker is going to get what the entire scenario, and what the password strategy, what he was going to keep, and the password, the updated password he is going to get. Actually, the updated password is going to get, the hacker is going to get into the hacking hackers database. So for example, if you take a call, you are going to get a call that we are calling from Paytm, and you have recently shopped with us, and you awarded with a gift card. The gift card contains 5,000 rupees, and please provide your banking account details, or provide with your debit card details, and we are going to connect your debit card to the gift card, and you can able to easily withdraw that gift card. And you are going to get this type of spamming calls. So no one is going to give even a single rupee for free. No one is going to give no one is going to send you the official, the officials are not going to send you this type of messages that change your password, or we are from officials, we are from cyber security, we are from State Bank of India, we are from Bank of Baroda, and someone is trying to get login into your account. They are not going to send this all stuff to you all. You need to concern about your security, and you need to see about your about your account security. They are not they are not the response, they are not going to take your responsibility of your accounts actually. So links, coming to the point of links, the third one, as I told, you are going to get some of the email and some of the stuff in the SMS type. As I told, you are going to get some of the links that hey my friend, hi, are you interested to do a part-time jobs? And click the below link. You are going to get earn 5,000 to 6,000 rupees per a single day. This type of impersonating messages, this type of social engineering links are going to send by by some of the spammers actually. This is what the social engineering means. So fine, up to now, is there any questions actually, guys? Are you facing any issue with my explanation? Should I need to change, or are you having any doubts? Let me know. You can unmute yourself, any of you, and you can speak. Let me know that all clear. Fine. No sir, all clear. Fine. Manas, you are going to my favorite actually in this boot camp. Fine. Okay, then coming to the point, as we have completed with social engineering, right? So what is phishing attack? The main thing we are in, what is phishing attack? Don't worry, these are the small concepts that which this will teach you the ethics of cybersecurity, and we are also going to do some of the practicals in this session. Okay, don't be feel bored. Okay, so what is phishing attack? Phishing attack means, as I told, sending some some of the links, or sending some of the fake spamming emails, or calling someone and impersonating like that. I am your HOD calling from Lolly Professional University. As per the records, you are been charged for this, and you are not going to attempt your exams. As some of one of your friend is going to impersonate you like an HOD, and he is going to play with you. This is what the impersonation, and this is all what comes under the phishing attack actually. Phishing is such a thing that where the user is going to create a fake one. The user is going to trap a normal user into a malicious, and the main thing of the hacker is, by using this phishing attack, he is going to drop you a safe and secured person into the malicious content. As we all know, as we all aware about some of the phishing attacks, and we also know that we know we are not we will not click some of the links, or we will not visit some of the websites, and we also know, but why we are all again and again falling for the same phishing attacks? Actually, let me show you that one thing in the in the Chrome actually. This is a map I will show you. Guys, this is the live live cyber threat map actually. This is the live cyber threat map, as you can able to see here. For every second, for every second, what type of this yellow indicates that this is the exploit, and this type of colors, these colors will indicate the specific type of exploits, specific type of attacks, or malware type of attack, and everything of phishing. So this is the map that every single, and India is suffering. And also, if we zoom it, see, only we can able to see the map here. Entire these things that from here to here, the Belgium is going to be the falling for United States. And some of the lines which are starting, they are going to do attack, and the lines which are receiving, they are going to be the victims actually here. So this is what the live cyber threat map, as we are all aware about the phishing attacks. We this many attacks on this day, as you count here, this many attacks for a single day actually. So this is what we are facing. We all are aware about phishing attacks, and we also know we don't need to click a specific link, or everything we all know. So yeah, okay, now let it be. We will discuss some of the types of phishings here. These are the famous type of phishings. And first thing is email phishing, spear phishing, whaling, and smishing and wishing, angler phishing. So these are the types of phishing. Actually, email phishing means you are going to send, you are going to attack a person, or a organization by using the emails. You are going to send n number of emails to a specific person, and he is going to attract it, any of the message to you. Like you are going to send some thousand of messages, like you are providing a tuition of mathematics for free actually. So the user is not going to take a look for the first time, second time, third time, fourth time, but you are going to send some thousand of times, and at last the user will get bored, and he will try to visit your site. He will try to visit your site, and he will fall on your hacking list. This is what the mail phishing, email phishing means. And spear phishing means targeting a particular person in an organization. And whaling means targeting the higher authorities, like for a company the higher authority will be the CEO. And CEO is the higher authority, chairman, founder, the directors. They are going to be the higher authorities for a company, or for an organization. So in whaling they are going to target the higher authorities. This is what the whaling. And smishing and phishing, this all means, smishing means sending emails and spamming with some SMS. Spamming with the SMS, sending the n number of SMS in, like social media, or to the message inbox, sending fake or spamming messages. So the user is going to fall you to any of the point, like as I think you guys have been seeing that on the occasion, this type of attacks, as as I think you have seen this type of attacks, I'm going to tell you right now that on the occasion of Sankranti, Geo is going to offer you 50 GB data. Go and click the link and claim the offer as soon as possible. And idea is going to give you 5000 rupees to recharge balance. Click the below link and claim the offer as soon as possible. And one does this type of messages also you have been received, I think that uh, forward this image to 15 members within 15 seconds, and you are going to see miracle. Your WhatsApp is going to your WhatsApp color is going to change into the pink color, or your WhatsApp DP is going to change to the Baba. This type of attack, as as I think you have been seen, forward these messages and forward this type of things. By forwarding this, there is nothing, there is an intention that they are going to do some of the politics, or they are going to do they are going to embed a virus to the image. And it is also possible that when we can also embed a virus with the image file, when the user loads the image file and the virus get executed in the background, then the entire device is going to be compromised, and the entire device can be controlled by the attacker from the attacker's database. This is what the thing will be happened on the background of these images. This is what the entire thing actually. So what coming to the wishing, and calling someone and impersonating is wishing. Okay. So what is WhatsApp hacking? WhatsApp hacking means, as you can think, WhatsApp hacking means, this does not mean that we are going to hack the WhatsApp database. We are going to send some of the pictures. As you can see, these are going to be one of the spam type of attacks. We are going to send different types of images, and we are going to tell them, forward this forward this image to the 15 members, and you are going to change your you know entire display, entire color. You are going to change your WhatsApp display, WhatsApp color. So this is what the entire about phishing attack. And coming to the spammer call, as I told, wishing, the spammer will call you, and he will try to impersonate you, as I told, as I took the HOD's example. And like as I told, SMS in the social engineering, and this comes under the social engineering, phishing with social engineering. As you can able to see that someone sign on your RBC account today, online today, with IP address. This will be the fake IP address. And if this was not you, please quickly sign into the following link to secure your access. But actually, the any bank, or the any officials which deals with the economy or which deals with the technology, they are not going to visit you in such a manner, with the SMS or with the calls. They are going to aware you, they will try to educate you, but they are not going to give us a compliment or suggestion, like you need to change your password, you need to change your secure your account, you need to add two factor authentication live by clicking the below link. They are not going to send a link, specific link, and they are not going to tell you to do with this link. Actually, the officials will be always officials, and they will try to aware you, they will try to educate you. Fine. So actually, coming to the point, what is malware? Any of you, please, if you know what is malware, let me know. Some links are like wishing links and try to capture the friend. Yeah, exactly. And this comes under the angular phishing. Actually, yeah, we need to talk about angular phishing, right? So this come under angular phishing. So angular phishing is such type of attack. They are going to send and they are going to access to your hardware of the IoT device. If you are carrying a mobile and the mobile contains front and also back cam, they are going to access to your camera. This is what they are going to do. So a type of virus. Good manners, but a virus comes under the malware. But a virus, malware is not a virus. Virus is a malware encrypting data. Fine. Yeah, it comes. We can take it as our consideration. Fine. And any of you another, a malicious software. Very good. Yeah, this is what the answer actually. Malicious softwares. Malware is a set of program which is a malicious, which will try to do an impact to a specific device. Actually, this is what the malware consists of. Different types of malware is a malware is a head of a entire family. Actually, malware contains the virus, and we will learn in the next slide what types of virus, types of malwares actually. So actually, the malware means a set of program, each it is a malicious software, or a malicious content that which it will impact, or which it will destroy everything. This is what the malware. So these are the types of malwares actually: ransomware, spyware, adware, trojan, worms, virus, rootkit, and keyloggers. So these are going to be the types of malwares actually. I think, how many of ransomware? What is ransomware, guys? What is ransomware? If you don't know, please let me know that, so I can I can continue. Because the interaction between the instructor and the students will be very good. The session will be very user friendly if we interact both of us, right? Getting data of the whole system. Fine. So getting data of the whole system, this is not the exact answer actually. Let me explain you, let me give a clarity actually. Ransomware means it is a type of a set of program or a set of application which this is going to be attached to a specific legitimate software. So for suppose, if you want a PDF, and a PDF is interlinked with a PDF is zipped actually. So when the PDF is zipped, the ransomware is also attached to the same PDF file. And when you try to encrypt the PDF file, which is the zipped file, so first of all the ransomware will execute. Then in the next, because the zipped file contains two files, right? Two executable files. One will be the ransomware software, and one will be the PDF. So there will be a two executed softwares, and there will be two executed files in the same zipped files. And we can program, we can do program that a zipped file should need to execute this thing first, and it should continue the second thing actually. So we can educate the zip software actually. You need to execute the ransomware first, and you can go for the PDF for second. So As in this scenario, the ransomware is such type of thing that which it when the ransomware is get installed in our system, our entire system files is going to be encrypted. So when you try to access when you try to access local disk D, the local disk D is going to be encrypted. When you try to access the local disk C, the local disk C is going to be encrypted and no files can able to see, and you are not authorized to access the entire directory actually. When you try to open a specific software, for suppose when you try to open the VLC media player, and VLC media player is going to encrypt and the software is going to crash, and when you retry to open the same VLC program, and it is going to give a warning that the software has been crashed. So this is what the ransomware means, and there are different types of ransomwares are there. They work according to their functionalities. A basic ransomware means which when a ransomware get installed in our computer, the entire file system is going to be encrypted. The entire file system is going to be encrypted and we can't get access actually, and the attacker is going to ask some of the money in the terms of bitcoins. And the attacker will display that I have a key to decrypt the entire files. But the truth is that when if a ransomware once installed in your software, it is not going to encrypt the files actually. In the real scenario, it is going to delete all the files completely from the hard disk. So actually, this is the spam behind the ransomware, and some of the major and massive companies were fall for this ransomware in the earlier days. And coming to the spyware, as I told, A is spying on B by installing a specific software, and the A is going to try all the movements of the B from the IoT devices itself. This is what the spyware means. Adware. So what does it mean? Adware means, for suppose if when you are getting into a mall, so when you are getting into a mall, and the mall which it contains a number of shops, which is some brands actually, for suppose if we take a Mac, Mac uh, brand showroom is there on the mall, and when you visit nearby the Mac showroom, immediately on your mobile you are going to see one of the advertisement upon your screen about the new Mac tab. Actually, you don't know, you haven't visited any website, or you haven't clicked anything on your mobile phone, but you are going to visit, you are going to see upon the display that a advertisement is going to display on your mobile phone. This is what the adware, and there will be some of the devices for this adware to represent or a particular to do advertisement. Actually, a particular thing will be advertised by using this adwares. And Trojan means, as Trojan is such a tool, or such a software. Actually, it is a set of program that which it will embed with another file, and which it looks quite legitimate actually. No one can able to detect a Trojan that easily. But in the today's technology, the antivirus has been more advanced, and the antivirus can able to. But a advanced polymorphic virus which is implemented by the polymorphism, Trojan is unable to detect with any type of virus, because polymorphism means it will change per every second, and according to the movement the virus will the Trojan virus will generate a new signature for every second, for every moment actually. This is what the Trojan means. So coming to the type worms. Worms means this is a non-replicative. Actually, you need not to open a specific file, or a specific thing to trigger the worms. The worm can be easily entire spread over the network actually. If you are downloading a movie from the internet, and this is what the problem with our Indians, that we are going for the free things actually. So free things are very dangerous. If I suggest you, don't go for the free things if you are poor, or if you are not affordable to give to pay amount. But also, don't go for the free things. Free things are very dangerous. They are they are embedded with Trojan, swarms, virus. Yeah, it is. You think that who will embed it, but definitely there is a virus behind every file on the internet actually. So worms means here, this is a type of this is a type of malware, that a worm which it will it will not it will not interlink or it will not attach with any another file directly. It will continuously type, try to spread over the network. And if you in your home, it contains one router and 10 pcs. So if one pc is get affected with the worm, and 10 pcs is going to be affected with the same worm, actually the worm is going to transfer upon the overall local area network. So this is what the worm means. And virus, coming to the type of, virus is type of malware, as I told in the antivirus terminology. When we are discussing antivirus, as I told, virus is such a thing that which it always try to, destruct. So okay, a virus is also a such thing. It is a replicative. Actually, we need to trigger it. We need to open it when a virus is attached to a specific file, or virus is a set of program which we was built it, and we need to open it for every time to trigger it. We need to execute it. So the virus will trigger actually, but worm is non-replicative. Actually, worm does not need the opening. Actually, the user interaction will does not needed by the worm actually. Virus need the user interaction. So the rootkits is also type of malware, that the the rootkit virus is going to install upon your root, or the root level virus. So root means administration. So if a computer is gaining the admin rights, a virus is gaining the admin rights, so there is nothing with that computer actually, because the entire thing can be compromised, and the entire thing can be controlled by the attacker. So keylogger means, it is a type of a set of program, or a type of malware that if a keylogger is installed in our laptop, and this is not this is not a type of malware that which will destruct your computer. Actually, it will continuously try to monitor your keyboard input. That's it. It is not going to, it is not going to do any impact, or it is not going to crash any of your softwares. Actually, keylogger is just a thing that it is going to monitor your keyboard input. That's it. So fine, coming to the practical part at last, we are in the practical part, and we have discussed, what is cybersecurity, some basic terminologies in cybersecurity, what is phishing attacks, and what is types of phishings, and what is malware, types of malware, and what is social engineering attack. So now we will try to talk about the installing Kali operating system. And you may ask, why only the Kali Linux? Yeah, there are physical keyloggers. Yeah. Okay, fine. Encrypting all data of whole system and ask user to give money. Exactly, exactly. This is what the ransomware means, Nitish. This is what the ransomware means. Very good and well try. And how many of you know about the Kali Linux operating system? I know. Yeah, fine. Any of you? Me, Manas. Okay, fine, Nitish. Then only three among 33. Only three of you know about the Kali Linux actually. Please, guys, I'm not forcing actually. You can participate. I'm using present. Very good, man. And I want some more participation actually. If you don't know, and you can enter that. I don't know actually. Yeah, Guriji. Okay, fine. You know about Kali Linux. And so Kali Linux is such a, such a software, or you can call it as a platform, not an operating system, because it is an Debian based. So Debian is an operating system, and it is implemented upon the Debian. Okay, so it is a platform, and it is a platform for every hacker or penetration tester can be used, because the n number of penetration testing tools and ethical hacking tools are available in the pre-installed, pre-built actually. They are all are pre-configured in the Kali Linux. So yeah, if we come to the topic, how to install the Kali Linux. So there will be one of the ISO file, and I'm going to show you that you need to download the ISO file actually. Okay, you need to download the ISO file from the kali.org official website, and you may go to the Google, and you can search kali.org, and you can able to download the entire file. So, and after downloading the file, you can able to install the VirtualBox also. VirtualBox. So this is a type of software which will divide your system into the physical and virtual. So virtual device can be virtual in this virtual platform we can able to install the n number of operating systems, as you can see Windows 10, Windows 7, and Debian project. And this is the Kali Linux. I named it as Pentest box, and this is one of the metasploitable Linux. So this is what the entire thing actually, the virtualization platform actually. So if you want to know, guys, if you want to know about how to install the Kali Linux, and it is a big deal actually, and to show it live, and it will take approx 30 to 40 minutes. And we will go for the second practical first, and then in the rest amount of time I will show you how to install Kali Linux. Fine. So before that I'm going directly to the Kali Linux, because if you want to need to show Kali Linux first, and I will go with the Kali Linux installation at once. Choice is yours, guys. If you want to know first how to install the Kali Linux, and I will go with the Kali Linux actually. So fine, and first do second one. Very good. Second one. Fine. Yes. Okay. Okay. So I will go with the second thing, and many of the people are aware about Kali Linux, and it is very good, and I'm very happy actually. So and the rest part, how to install Kali Linux, I will share you one of the link. And one of my student has been uploaded in Shadow Security's YouTube channel, how to install Kali Linux with low configuration. Fine. He will well tried actually, he will tried to explain the entire thing, how to install Kali Linux with low configuration. So I will share you the link of that, yeah, in USB we can make it a bootable USB, but also you can able to install in the virtual box, Manas. And fine, I will share you the link how to install it in a systematic manner to run it in a low configuration system. Also, I will share you the link, and you guys after this session, yeah. But after this session, you can go with that video, and I will show you the second practical. But I need more space. Up to you, Gandhi. Up to you. That is according to your system configuration. You may. So fine. How many of you know to how to bypass Kali Linux password? Let me know how to bypass the Linux passwords. Not only the Kali Linux, you can bypass any type of Linux passwords. Should I need to show you, right? Yeah. Okay, fine. This is not in our syllabus actually, but instead of installing Kali Linux, I'm going to show you how to crack Kali Linux password. And this trick is going to work for all the Linux systems. All the Linux systems, and don't use this trick for illegal purpose. And our organization, Shadow Securities, and Gravity is not going to be responsible for this, illegal activities. We are a platform, and we are an organization that we are always try to provide you a quality education. Fine. So don't use this for the illegal purpose, and I'm going to show you this trick is going to work for all the all the Linux operating systems, not only the Kali machine. And first of all I will show you how to reset. Let me turn off it. Yeah. So I have been exited from the Kali machine, and from here the step is going to start. Fine. From here the step is going to start, that open the VM box, virtual machine, and click on the Kali machine, then click on the start button. Fine. So when you click on the start button, the machine is going to be start, and the machine will try to load. And exactly, the machine is loading here. So when you able to see this boot screen, go for the advance and press E. Go for the advanced reset and press E. Okay. So as you can able to see the the mouse cursor actually here, this thing, you know the cursor, as I'm giving a movement there. And so as you can able to see that, get down, get down, again get down. So when you see here the Linux, the first Linux from from starting actually, from starting you can able to see here in this line, you can able to see the Linux name. For every Linux this is going to be work fine. And you can able to see the Linux first thing, okay, Linux, the first name. And if you go down you can also able to see the next name of this Linux. Actually this is the next name, but you need to go for the first thing, okay. So according to me there is only the two accounts in this operating system, but in your operating system there might be 4 to 5 accounts, or 10 accounts. So 10 Linux 10 Linux parameter is going to show here. So this is the root parameter that it was showing, the first Linux parameter, okay. So when you see the Linux parameter here, you need to you need to go at the end of this. As I am going here, you need to go entire end of this parameter, fine. So you need to remove this white splash RO. Okay, you need to write RW means RO means read and execute, and RW means read and write. Actually, we are gaining a write permission from the scratch. Actually, before loading the splash screen, we are getting a write permission. So this RW means we are getting a write permission, and then enter init initiate. Okay, then equal to bin bash, as we are going to initiate the bash shell before the splash screen occurs. Before the Kali splash screen occurs, we are gaining a root with root privilege, a bash shell from the root actually. So press F10. After this, press F10. Then you are going to see this type. So as we have changed for the first thing, right? For the first Linux parameter, we have changed and we need to enter upon it, and the system is going to load some of the files. As you can able to see, guys, are you getting are you getting understand or not? Are you able to follow these instructions? Let me know. Yes, fine, fine. So okay, so if you able to see, you can able to see here the root. Please, this is a virtual box and I can't able to zoom it more than this. And this at last, as you can able to see the root, as we got a root shell. Without password, actually I have restarted the Kali machine, and without password I got a root shell. This is one of the trick that every organization is facing right now. Every organization Linux server is going to be is facing is such a type of vulnerability. So this is the reason they are using external security, third party securities. So as we got received a root shell from here, and I am going to enter passwt, and this is the command to change the password, and I am going to enter a new password here, and I am going to enter retype the new password, and you can able to see the password successfully updated. Password updated successfully. Guys, are you able to understand this? What is the difference between VMware and VirtualBox? Guys, VirtualBox is offered by the VMware. Actually, VM Player, Player is different, and VM Player is not an open source. VirtualBox is an open source. This VMware is, VirtualBox is a software which was, sponsored by VMware. These both are not different actually. So these both are open source. Complete the all additional features we can able to see in the open source itself, but in the free version itself. There is a no paid version for this VMware of VirtualBox. So in the VM player, workstation player, how to install it. Fine. As I told Raju, and I will share a link, and you can able to see a number of times that link, and you can able to follow the instructions as my student explained, in the video in the Shadow Securities YouTube channel. I will share you the link in the end of this session. Okay, need not to worry, and you can able to see he is explained very fine with a simple English. There is not This is not a big deal actually. He is explained each and everything. Okay. Okay, fine, Raju. And as Manas, VMware is an open source. It is free. Workstation is not an open source. We need to pay for it. So fine. So guys, are you able to? Which one is better? If you are okay with the payment, and go for the workstation. If you are, there is no competition between the player and VirtualBox. Ware and player, the both softwares are really awesome. And as you can think, as an ethical hacker and as an penetration tester, I am using a VMware. Fine. So by this you can get a entire era, and you can go with the specific one. So fine. As have you seen password has been updated without entering any credentials, without any any privilege? I got a root shell, and the password has been updated. I will show you again. See, password has been updated. Then close it, close entire close the entire yeah, it will work for the dual boot also. This is this is not for the virtual box. Virtual box is a such software that it is providing a a complete different software environment, a complete different computer environment actually. you know this operating system, this Windows 7 is not having any interlink with this Windows 10 actually. This Windows 7 is running, as well as this Windows 10 is also running. There is no interlink between them. Okay, so in the dual boot also this works fine, and I have explained the password bypassing. Yeah, exactly. In the boot dual boot also this will work with all Linux. Okay, so as I have turned it off, and I can enter again to the Kali machine, and I will enter the new password. Okay, and I'm going to enter here. And guys, don't worry, this video is going to be available for you all. If if you unable to catch my speed, don't worry, and this video will be available to see again and again in the later. Okay, so as we got the login screen, and I am going to enter root, and also and I am going to enter the new password, which is which I was entered in the previous the password bypassing session, and I am going to enter here. As you can see, boom, the password has been reset successfully. So this type of tricks are very with me, this type of tricks are very well worked for me in such type of scenarios when I am dealing with some of the forensic cases, when I'm dealing with some of the Delhi forensic cases, or Hyderabad forensic cases. So this type of tricks and trips, and this type of techniques were used for me very well. Use this for legal purpose, and this type of tricks are there for the Android also. And according to our syllabus, that is not the manner to show the Android one. But as we are talking about the Kali machine, as I told, as I demonstrated how to bypass it. Fine. This is what I need to show you. As I will share you the Kali Linux installation media, entire link, YouTube link, need not to worry. And after installing, you are going to see this type of dashboard. Okay, this type of dashboard you are going to see. Right now what I am going to do means, I am going to hack this Windows 7 machine from this Windows, from this Kali machine. Guys, if you know this thing, please see it again and again, but don't be interrupt the explanation. Actually, I am going to hack this Windows 7 machine from this Kali machine. As you can able to think that the both machines are in the same same laptop, and it will be more easy to hack. But it is not the not the topic actually. They assume that I am going to explain you the entire scenario. Assume that this entire virtual box is going to be the organization. Assume this virtual box platform is going to be the organization. Okay, so this organization is running Windows 7 server. Okay, fine. So up to now, okay, so this organization, this virtual box organization is running a Windows 7 server, and I am a hacker. As I am in the organization for the testing purpose, and I am using a Kali Linux, as you can able to see here. So as I am in the internal network of this organization. As you can think, I am also connected to the same VirtualBox gateway, and this Windows machine also connected to the same VirtualBox machine gateway. As you can able to see, as if I enter into the settings and network, you can able to see the bridge adapter. And this Windows machine is also going to use the bridge adapter, you know bridge adapter. So fine, this VMware is going to be the organization, and they are using Windows 7 server. For suppose this is a Lovely Professional University, and in the Lovely Professional University, this Windows 7 is one of the PC, one of the data server, and this is connected to the LPU hostel's Wi-Fi. So fine, I'm a hacker, and I am also connected to the same LPU hostel's Wi-Fi when I am entered into the organization for the testing purpose. So fine, as I think you got an entire scenario what we are going to do, guys. Okay, fine. So are you able to understand? Fine. So this is the entire scenario. So right now at present I am going to hack this Windows machine from this Kali machine. Okay, this is that much easy that if you see any Windows machine, as you can take consideration, the Windows 10 machine is quite, somewhat highly secured, but we can also get hack into the Windows 10 machine by using some paid tools. Some of the paid tools and some of the polymorphic viruses are there, which it will create some unique signatures, and it will bypass the Windows 10 security actually. So to I'm using an open community tools, and I'm not going to use any paid tools, because for your comfortable reason, as you all told, you are in noobs actually. So we need to start from the scratch. So I'm going to show you the open source one, as I am going to hack with free softwares. I'm not going to pay to anyone to hack this Windows machine actually. So fine, coming to the scenario, I'm going to open the terminal. Okay, so I'm going to open the terminal, and first of all I'm going to create a payload. Payload means, payload is such a set of software, or a set of program which it will work according to the author's uh, according to the author's command. Actually, if I want to dump all the database of a specific website, then I'm going to build a payload that go and attack on the website and dump all the database. If I want to hack into someone's Android mobile phone, and I'm going to build a such a type of payload, that a set of with a set of programming that uh, attack the Android mobile, and dump all the mobile photos, and access to the cam, and every internal storage, everything I can able to access by according to the payload. So here I am going to build a type of payload. That payload is going to be delivered to the Windows machine as you entered into the organization. And when you entered into an organization, it is not such a big deal that delivering a payload to the Windows machine. And it is an illegal that if I show how to deliver a payload to the victim's machine. So I am not going to show you how I am delivering a payload in the illegal manner. So I am going to show you that a basic scenario, that I am forwarding that payload to the Windows machine directly in front of you. Okay, and so let me build a payload by using MS of Venom. So if you don't know what type of payload to select, you can able to see all type of payloads here. MS of Venom, L means list, and type payloads, and you can able to see all the payloads. Guys, are you able to understand this all things? Yeah. Okay, fine. Just give a minute, and this all payloads have been loaded. This all are the payloads actually. If you talk about this thing, and there is a description for this. If you see what about this payload, and there is a description for this. So in this overall payload, so we need to search about a specific payload, Windows Metapeta reverse TCP. Okay, Windows Metapeta reverse TCP is such a tool, is such a payload that it will establish a reverse connection from the victim's device. TCP means a TCP is transport control protocol, which it presents a three-way communication. Actually, it is going to send a reversal from the victim to the attacker's machine. Fine, that is the reason we are going to use the Windows Meter Peter reverse TCP. So here is the payload, Windows Meter Peter reverse TCP. You need to search the payload. Actually, it is up to you. So search it, and build a payload according to that. Okay, MS of first of all, clear the session and enter MS of Venom, and then enter the P, and Windows Meter Peter. The host is L host is like a local host, and local host is going to be my IP address. As you can able to see, I'm going to see my IP address with entering ifconfig command. So if I enter this command, I'm going to get my IP address. Okay, 192.168.43.55, and I'm going to place here hello host in the place of hello host, and then in the place of L port I'm going to place 1234. Fine. And this is F keyboard is implies that the format, in which format we need exe, and which type of payload we need x, and what is the name of the payload, what is the output of the payload actually. So I'm going to rename it with Surya. Okay, I'm renamed the payload with Surya, and I'm going to enter it. The payload is building up, and we can able to see the when the payload once complete the entire building process. So we can able to see here. So finally, size of exe file is 73,802 bytes. So this is what if you enter ls, then you can able to see the surya.exe. Okay, surya.exe you can able to see here. And when you clear the screen, here, so you are going to see surya.exe is there. And the next the deal is, you need to send this surya.ext to this Windows 7 machine, and it is up to you, and I am not going to show you because according to the training content policy that we need to we need to teach you only the way of process and concepts actually. The techniques will be, it will be unique. So here I'm not going to show you how to bypass, how to pass this surya.ext to the Windows 7 in the illegal manner, and I am going to show you the legal manner. When you have access to the victim's machine also, you can able to pass it. So fine. And here the next deal is, we need to start we need to start a we need to replace this to one of the directory. So move this to where www html. So I am moved if you see, there is no surya.exe file. So I have moved by using the following command, mv means move. By using the following command, I have moved the entire payload to the where www.html, as you can able to see when I enter the directory, and you can able to see here the surya.exe. Fine. So this is the surya.exe. Now I am going to start Apache server, service star Apache to start. The Apache server has been started here. In Linux, if there is no error when you execute a command, that it means that the command has been executed successfully. So we have been executed it successfully, and you think Apache server has been started. Apache server means we are going to use this Kali machine as one of the server, and we can able to access this Kali machine by using this from this Windows 7 machine. Okay, so I am I have changed this Kali machine to the Kali server right now by using this Apache. So next deal is, I need to start MSF console actually. So I'm going to use one of the platform that is Metasploit framework. Metasploit is a platform for all penetration testers, as this is comes under the network penetration tester, as I am showing the access to the Windows machine. And this is ultimately according to our according to our syllabus, as I told, hacking Linux machine live, and I am showing you right now hacking Windows machine live. Okay, in the first day I am showing you how to hack Windows machine live in the local area network. Exactly. So right now I am going to start MSF console. Okay, and the Metasploit, by using this command, the Metasploit framework is going to starting the Metasploit framework and console. So the Metasploit framework is going to start. Up to that, we will bypass, we will download the payload into this Windows 7 machine. And when I am going to click here on the you know explorer, so I'm going to enter the IP address of the Kali machine. Okay, 192 dot 192.168.43.55 will be my IP address. And if I enter here, my default page is actually I will also show you this this in the next demonstration. After this exploit, I will show you this demonstration. Actually, by default the page it was displayed there. Fine. So what is the name of our payload? Surya, right? Surya.exe. So it is asking that do you want to download. Yeah, I'm going to save it and I'm going to run. And fine, it is running. Actually, we haven't started the we haven't started the Metasploit. First we will start the Metasploit handler. Okay, so here you need to enter exploit use exploit multi handler. Okay, so show options. As you can able to see here, we need to set a hello host. Actually, in the payload perspective, we have set a hello host as our local host IP address, right? So I need to enter my local host IP address here, 192.168.43. 55. And according to the payload, I have entered the L port is 1234, right? L port 1234. Here you can able to see, guys, as we have used this IP address in the localhost, this L port 1234 in the while we are building up a payload, we have been used this details actually. So enter. Now enter a command that set payload Windows meter Peter reverse TCP. Okay, so the payload has been set and I am going to exploit it now. Enter exploit and the started reverse TCP handler on this IP address. And as I have entered a run option here, and the program has been executed in the background, directly we got access here. If you think, if I enter shell, see, you can able to see, you can able to see the command prompt of the Windows. Guys, are you able to understand? Are you getting this? Easiest way is using any disk cam. Or what you are talking about, Nitesh. You can unmute yourself and you can make a discussion with me. Yes, yes, guys, you are getting entire entire yeah, fine, fine. So Nitesh, what you are talking about? Continue. Okay, okay. Yeah. So this is what it means. They are going to pose you in the manner of social engineering, as they are going to force you. They are going to, they are going to ask you to install any disk n number of times, and at last you are going to be in confused, and you are going to install any disk on your PC. And yeah, this may happen. This may happen, and yeah, very good. Grandi, what you are talking about? 8080 port will not be detected by the firewall. That's not the matter actually. 8080 port, there is not like that a specific port which will bypass the antivirus. This is wrong actually. So because there are 65,535 ports are there, and every port can be detected by the firewall. Okay, so fine. When we get back to the Kali machine, as we can able to see here, we got entire access to the Windows machine from the Kali machine. As you know, just we have executed a small payload, and we have executed a small virus actually in the Windows 7 machine, and we got access, entire access. This is what happening in the real websites and real data servers also. So you can able to change your directory, as you can see, and you can able to see the files, and you can able to get into the desktop, and you can able to find out all the files here. This is what the entire scenario. Okay, actually we got the entire access to the C. As you guys able to see or not, this is what the entire scenario, how we hacked Windows. So, yeah, we have completed with one of the type of exploit, and as I told, how to install a virus by using Metasploit, and how to get access to the Windows 7 machine. Fine. Now I am going to show you how the hackers are going to manipulate you, and how they are going to hack your Twitter account, or how they are going to hack your Instagram account. So ultimately, I am going to show you how to hack Twitter. Okay, how many of you are fine with this, guys? Yeah. Okay, please participate. Okay, and I'm going to show you the Twitter hack, and this Twitter hack will be 99% on social engineering actually. So social engineering is such a big thing that everyone is going to be victimized for this social engineering. As if a company employee is going can able to target the company's team leader, and a son can target to his father, a husband can target his wife. This is what the social engineering, and believing each and every believing upon them. So by using this social engineering, I am going to show you how I am going to how I am going to implement it. Fine. So I'm going to exit this. Okay, fine. We have exited from the Metasploit, and right now, as I told, I'm going to show you the Twitter hack. Fine. Before that Twitter hack, let me say you one thing. These all things are need to be done under the under the content security policy by the shadow securities, and shadow securities and gravity is not going to be the responsible for this. Any circumstance misconsequences you will be faced by doing this illegally. Okay. Fine, guys. If we back to the topic, and I'm going to use one of the toolkit here, set toolkit, and this is one of the famous tool which is used for the social engineering. Okay, and I'm going to select social engineering attacks, option 1, and I'm going to enter here, and then after I'm going to select website attack vectors, option 2. You can select anything. Okay, yeah, and I'm selecting 2 because I'm forwarding a link, and anyone can access to that link, and anyone can submit the credentials, so they can I can see in my database. This is what the entire scenario I am going to see show here. Okay, so as coming to the point, credential harvest attack method, as we are going to collect only the id and password, so I am going to enter 3. Okay, it is asking to site clone. There will be 3 types at web templates and site cloner custom import. So I'm going to enter 2 option, and it is asking me to enter my IP address. Okay, and my IP address is 192.168 dot 43.55. And when I click enter, and it is asking me to enter an URL, and I am going to the Firefox. Okay, and I am going to the Firefox, and I am typing twitter.com, and I am going to copy. I'm going to copy the URL, and then again I am going to close the Firefox actually, and I'm going to paste the link here, Twitter link. Okay, and I'm going to enter. So here it is taking some time, and do you want to attempt the disable Apache? Yes. Yeah, successfully stopped Apache. Harvester is ready. I have victim browsed your site. So guys, this is what the entire scenario, and if you enter the new tab, and service Apache to start. Okay, fine, Apache is not working. And if we enter ifconfig, and you can able to, when you note this IP address, and when you enter into this machine, then enter the IP address, enter the IP address of the this is up to you guys, how you are going to forward this IP address to the victims. This is up to you actually. We have been set entire the lab environment in the background in Kali Linux, and right now we need to forward this IP address to the Windows users, I mean to the victims. As I am not going to show you how to forward this, as just I am going to enter manually. And when I am clicking actually Apache server is not running. Wait for a minute, I am going to restart my Kali machine. Okay, this is what sometimes you will face with this Kali machine actually. So I will restart it again. Guys, how many of you are enjoying this session? Please let me know. Let me know the feedback of this day one. So this is our last practical, and I'm going to end up this session. Please, I want to know your feedback. How many of you are you enjoying this session, and how many of you are getting interest? Manas Yadav, at last you have decided that you have selected a right course, right? I told you, you are going to change your mind at the end of this session. But tomorrow and day after tomorrow, you are going to see some of the attacks that you are going to learn much more things. I'm going to teach you how to hack mobile phone, how to hack, right now I have interacted with the Windows machine in front of you. But tomorrow, I mean on the Sunday, actually I am not at the day 3, I'm not going to even interact with the victim machine. But victim is going to be in my hands. I will show you. I will show you. Let me start it. Let me continue with this session, please. Root and then Surya. So I have entered the password here. Yeah, the machine is started. Okay, fine. I will enter into the terminal, and when I enter ls, and I can able to see some of the things. CD DOWN downloads. Okay, ls. Okay, fine. So yeah, coming to the point, as I told, hacking Twitter, right? Set toolkit. Just a minute. The framework is loading, and select the thing for social engineering attack. And then, guys, you need to select the wait for a minute, and you need to select for website based attacks. And option 2, website attack vectors, and then option 3, 1 2 3. The sequence is very interesting. 1 2 3, and you need to enter 3 here. Fine. And you need to enter 2 here. And then after, it was asking for your IP address 192.168.43.55. Okay, then you need to enter the Twitter exact URL to get clone the Twitter website. You need to enter the exact URL of this Twitter. That is the reason I'm opening Firefox actually, to get the entire absolute Twitter URL, and I have copied it, and and I will minimize the Firefox, and I'm going to enter here. And this could take a little bit, and it is taking a little bit. Yeah, fine. The attack has been started. Fine. So here the attack has been started, and exactly fine. So we will try to get access from this machine actually, and the IP address is 192.168.43.55, right? When I enter here, and it is loading, and it is showing up the same thing here. Just wait a minute, guys. Small glitch here. Sorry for this. Okay, small glitch. I'm going to fix it. Service Apache to start, and I think small glitch with this Apache server. We will try to get access from here. 192, 192 dot, one shit. 192.168.43.55. Okay. and if we enter the IP address, we are able to get the entire, okay, fine. So as guys, I think a small glitch happened here, and definitely I'm going to show you this tomorrow, with, you know as I will give, I will provide you with a link in the Google Meet, and you can also submit some details and your not your ID and password exactly. So you can submit your, fake ID and password, and I will show you in the tomorrow session. Actually, a small glitch I am facing, that Apache server has been trashed. I need to set up it again. So this will take some time. As if you can see, as if I enter my IP address in the same machine, I'm going to get the entire Twitter page. As you can able to see here, there is even a small there is no change even in a small thing actually. If we go on the content policy, you are going to get the URL here, and if we click on the about, you are going to get entire thing you are going to get here. There is no change actually. So for the 5 minutes, I will try to fix it, okay? And I will try, this is the interesting part actually. For suppose, I will show you when I click on the login, and it is redirecting me to the login page, and see, no different in any template. As you can also go for the original Twitter website, and you will also see the same template, and I am going to submit Surya and Surya. So the both which I have submitted, the Surya and Surya, and it is going to redirect to the original Twitter website. See, it is redirect to the original Twitter website. But coming to our database, coming to our database, you can able to see email is Surya, password is Surya. Guys, are you able to understand that? I am showing in the same machine, but because I'm, oldest circuit version message spoofing. Okay, fine. I'm facing a small glitch with Apache server, so I can't able to show you at present. So I am showing in a single machine, that in the Kali machine itself, that as you can able to see the password, user ID and password. This is how the attacker is going to set up a server, and he is going to buy a specific domain, and he is going to start illegal, the spamming actually. He will send some links to you, and he will say, try to get login into this website. And as I showed here, as in the banking website, banking example, as someone is sign on, please click the link and secure your access. This is how he is going to ask you, and when you enter details, you are going to the in the hacker database, he is going to get the entire user ID and updated password. So in your case, you are going to see that why it is redirect to the main website again. And you will think, and you will again try to log in, and you will try to change your ID password to these things. He will play with your hack actually. This is a type of hack that attacker is going to use his intelligence actually. So this is what the entire scenario, and fine. I'm going to end up the session. Give me 5 minutes, I will try to fix it, okay? If the error fix, and I will show you, or else I'm going to end up the session. Oh guys, it's working, it's working. Sorry. So actually, in the Kali machine, I have been shown, right? And in the physical Windows machine, as you can see, our meeting is hosting here, and you can see in the new tab, by entering the IP address, you can able to see the template. When this is under in the local network, as I can also able to show you out of the network, and also I will show you, right, at present. And when I try to sign up here, sorry, when I and again when you try to sign up, it is asking to something went wrong. And when you click back, when you try to log in here, and when you submit 1 2 3 4 5 6, and 1 2 3 4 5 6, and fine, it is go in my Windows machine, as you can see, it is not going to, it is not going to give any error. As you can see, it is logged into the official my Twitter account. Guys, are you able to understand this? Are you have you seen this? No, 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 beta, Nitish. There is no need of any good router. I'm going to show you how to, port forward for free. All right. You know, if you are with me, you are going to get entire these things and these tips and tricks for, it. Not all about free, but you can able to get this all for the, the affordable things. Actually, I can explain you that there is no need to use any good router here, right? Okay. So as you can see, guys, this is this is not going to give me a warning, and this is not going to give me, as I have submitted 1 2 3 4 5 6. So you can able to see here 1 2 3 4 5 6, 1 2 3 4 5 6. So this is what I have submitted, but it is logged in into the official Shadow Securities YouTube channel. Anyone can, notice why this was happened. Any, if is there any guy why this was happened? Actually, it was not one, and it doesn't give me any, any of the warning. Actually, it is directly logged in into my official account. Why does this happen? Any of you, Nitish, Manish, any Manas, any of you, Grandi, you know why this happened? If you don't know, fine, it is fine. I will follow, and no idea. Okay, fine. So, as I have already saved this Twitter into my cache memory, this Twitter has Twitter, and you can also see when I type here Twitter, it is is going to for the Twitter website. And when I click here, it is going to redirect me directly into Twitter, because things are saved on the cache memory, client side cache memory. So this is what this does not notice. It is not noticed any type of error, and it is directly passed or bypassed it, and it was successfully fine. So as you can see, Sonos is tested code. Oh shit, say a very good man is, right? Yeah, and negative, and he confirmed that he got a negative. Fine. So this is how, and right now I'm going to show you how to do port forwarding for this. How to do port forwarding, I will show you. So after doing this port forwarding, any of you can submit details to me. Okay, at the here I'm going to do forwarding by using portmap.io, one of the website which will provide you with the port forwarding for free. Okay, fine. Yeah, I'm getting enter into this website. As you can see that my credentials are saved in the cache memory, and so it is not going to ask me to enter any credentials. This is the reason that Twitter has been bypassed, and it is directly logged in. Okay, guys. Guys, yes, yes. Okay, fine. Okay, so fine. So I'm going to close this Windows machine. Okay. So okay, now I'm going to show you that directly it was logged in as an Jaisurya. So when I enter into the configurations, and you need to create an account in this portmap.io, and you need to enter into the configurations tab. Okay, so the configuration tab is going to load here, and you can able to see one of the configuration which I was made here, and if you go into the mapping rules, you need to create a configuration table. That's it. You need to create a configuration table here, and okay. I have already created a configuration. Just there is nothing to do actually. You need to click on configurations first of all, and you need to add a tab with a title, and you need to select whether what port you need to access, and what type of service you need to, like a TCP or HTTP or HTTPS, and you need to select in the configuration. And in the mapping rules also you can able to name, and directly the name will available, and you can directly the type will be OpenVPN. It is going to ask you the domain directly, the OpenVPN, and port will be TCP. Fine. So guys, so download, you need to download this file. So I don't want to confuse you, I will show you from the start. I don't want to confuse you. I think some of you are confusing with this all things. Yeah. So I'm going to delete the configuration file here in front of you. Okay. I'm going to delete this, and you know I can so I will get one of the option here to create a new tab. Okay, to create a new configuration I will get one of the tab. Let it load first of all. It is loading actually. I think I have too bad internet here. So fine, as you can see, configuration deleted, and you can see empty, and you can able to see create new configuration here. Fine, and also you have to delete from the mapping rules also. You need to delete the mapping rule also, because as a free account you have only access to create one configuration file and one mapping rule. So we need to delete the mapping rule also here. Okay, the mapping rule also has been by default it was deleted when we delete the configuration file. Very fine. So we need to enter into the configuration file, and then we need to enter here. Just give a minute, and it is loading actually. So click on here, create the new configuration. Okay, click on here, and you are going to see one of the pop-up. You are going to see one of the pop-up message that it contains the entire details. Creating a new configuration file. Yeah, as you can able to see here, so I'm going to name it as Surya. Okay, I'm going to name it as Surya, and the type will be OpenVPN, and port will be TCP, as we need a TCP protocol to interact. And then we need to click on generate. Okay, and there is using OpenVPN tunnel, there is a commands actually, and we need to download the configuration file, and we need to download as per the mention here. Step 2 will be download the configuration file, and we need to save it, and okay, we need to click on it, and the configuration file has been downloaded here. So next we need to create a mapping rule. Fine, create a mapping rule as he was told, and copy this command for the future reference. And I have copied it, and enter into the mapping rule. Okay, so when you click on the mapping rule, it will take you to the mapping rule page. Fine, guys, are you able to understand? Let me know. Let me know first. Are you able to understand, please? Yeah, very good. So we need to create a new mapping rule here. So we need to create a mapping rule by clicking here. Yeah. So the configuration name will be Surya, and it will be type of OpenVPN TCP, and the protocol you are going to use is HTTP. Okay, HTTPS can be used when we subscribe for the port map. We can use HTTP for free actually, and yeah, the port host port.io. I will use port.io will be my domain, and nothing else. So I will try to create it. So I have clicked on the create option. It was creating, and this type of things can also be used in the bug hunting actually. If you are aware about bug hunting, so this type of things may also use it to server side request forgery, SSRF. So yeah, the mapping has been created, and right now the task is that we have downloaded a file of OpenVPN, right? We have downloaded a file, and we need to execute it. So actually, in my system, the OBS system recorder is running, the Kali Linux is running, the Google Chrome is running, also some of the process are running. So it is taking 1 or 2 seconds late. Don't be hesitate. Okay, so when you open the terminal, as you have to notify that Surya, this is the file we have downloaded. This is the file we have downloaded, I think so, right? So we need to execute it right now. So by command open vpn, so we have to copy it. So by entering, it is going to execute it. Fine. So initial sequence completed. The sequence has been completed successfully. So guys, right now, just a minute. Let me confirm whether my IP, my device is getting accessible or not.